Alrighty, welcome to the 5-Day Crypto live stream. If this is your first time joining us, words are hard. We're doing these weekdays, every day, Monday through Thursday at least, around the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Just trying to help anyone I can, right? So if you're new to my channel, never seen me, my name's Chase, 5-Day Crypto. I do this full-time trader. I've been in crypto since 2017. Been through all the perils and all the good times and bad. So my goal is to help someone avoid a little bit more of the bad and get more of the good. So that's all I ask. Just watch, subscribe, like, whatever. I have nothing to sell you. So just here to help. As rare as that is on YouTube and crypto in general. It is what it is. Okay, so we'll just talk about Bitcoin for a few minutes till we get someone in here. Welcome in. Daily updates. You're welcome. All right, so we have three little zones here and one rather big zone down here. We've passed the green one. 67K was our flip level, and now we're in the I don't say cautionary, but it's certainly less bullish than 67. And all we have to do is get back above 67. You see previous swing lows back from, late May, early June. Previous resistance from April. Broke out there, kind of flipped that zone to support. And then we kind of got, slipped down a little bit here, right? We closed our first candle back under that green zone, under 67K last week. And we've kind of been stuck under it since, yeah? We've now crossed the EMA 8 under the 50. That's not usually a good sign. And the likelihood of consolidation or more downwards movement is now the odds, because we've broken through our major bullish support zone. So this is where we are. Now, this blue line, where we last held back in second week of May, 5 weeks ago, the 100-day EMA is at 64.2, 64.266 to be exact. Also, previous swing high right there from early May. Maybe this holds. If it does, great. Maybe we're working on a week or so of just trying to do something similar to that, right? Where we kind of rhyme. History doesn't repeat, but it sometimes rhymes. Something like to that narrative. And, then we can, do another shot at flipping 67K back to support. Or, we make our first attempt and then maybe go back down again, right? That's one. Second scenario is, we bounce immediately and maybe kind of just shrug off everybody and, see ya. And then we get back bullish real quick, flip this back to support, and then let's go on our merry way again. Or option C, which seems like, everybody and their grandma thinks that this is coming. Just the straight obliteration back to 12K. But until we close under the 100, let's just focus on the facts in front of us. So close under the 100, which we haven't done since way back here, and that only lasted for 2 days. So keep in mind where we are. Have some perspective here. Look at your altcoins. These are on super discounts compared to what we were in March. Yeah. Everyone nod your head. Yeah. So you generally need to be buying these times and not these times, right? You don't buy that candle. You buy that candle. Right? If you're upset with your performance, I would guess you haven't been buying these candles. You haven't been buying this, right? You've been more buying in these areas. Right? Most people buy up here. Then they wonder why they're not in profit. You have to get used to buying when your brain says this is a dumb idea. That works for most things in life, but trading is usually the opposite. We're definitely going lower. Does your brain scream buying? Of course not. But generally speaking, the pros, the people that make it, the people that last in profit, buying down here. Buying down here. Buying after a 40, 50% rip to the downside altcoin wide, that's generally where you go. Usually you need to be buying support and selling at resistance. Selling here. Right? Why do you think price stopped here? You think smart money was selling to you as you were buying? Yes, that's the answer. It's not like a trick, right? That's people that are in this to make money. Sell at resistance because that is, generally speaking, that's how it's going to go. If the bulls outweigh the bears, then it pushes forward, and their stop loss would get triggered. Then they just re-enter up here. Right? It's about risk reward. You want your risk reward to be off the charts in your favor as much as possible. And that, here we are again, right? We're at support. You're longing this with a stop loss like under here. Or you're just in it for the long play, dollar cost average, and, forget about it. But you're always buying support with stop losses. Now, sometimes, yeah, you can get these super wicks that stop you out. Just try again, right? You can try more times, but that's the benefit of stop losses is preventing the big loss, which is what wipes people out, gets liquidated, and then you never trade again, or you give up, or you double down. Worst is like you have your stop loss here, and then you're like, oh, it's almost going to trigger. I'll move it down. I'll move it down. I'll move it down. I'll move it down. I'll move it down, right? And liquidate it. And then it goes like this, right? As soon as you get liquidated, it's back up again. Then you're like, well, shit, now I got to get long because now it's going to break out. See ya. And then it gets you again, right? We've all been there, done that. Maybe some more than others, but it's not mistakes that you make that prevent you from being great. It's failing to learn from your mistakes that prevent you from being average, above average. All you got to do to be successful is be right one more time than you're wrong with the proper risk management. Hopefully this is bringing out true to somebody. All right. All right. So if we close under this, the next zone, it's a big zone. Why is it so damn big? Well, there's no well-defined area here. I mean, that's not well-defined. That's a little bit lower. That's way the hell lower. That's not even in line with that one. So you have like high closes around 62. You have this low close, which is our current low. And I've still maintained for weeks, I've said that once this was in and we started doing this, this is the low. High probability that we are not closing a weekly candle under that weekly candle, which I think was around 58K on the weekly. Okay. So if we think that, at least I think that. So even if we obliterate this and we don't stop here and we keep going down, we're looking to put in a macro higher low, something out in this area. And look what's rising here. The 200-day EMA could very well be, in 2 weeks from now, above that spot. That would be great. And it might even look like, in the Mac, zoomed out 6 months from now, it might be like, oh, look, it like double bottomed here. Duh, we should have bought. Right? Okay, so one of those scenarios. Keep you updated on a daily basis. If you want more help like this, right, join our Telegram group or our Patreon group. I throw a lot of extra content, and there should be no surprises in the market. Like our Telegram group gets updated on Bitcoins every move every day. And we look at all other kind of stuff. Altcoins. We did a whole altcoin video this morning on areas to buy. Bitcoin dominance. We cover that. Altcoin market caps. We cover that. DXY. Stock market. Whatever you want. All right. So now let's get to some requests, and I'll get off my soapbox. Hang on. We got to turn the AC down. It's getting warm up here. I got all the lights on. Should have done it before. Hang on a second. AC has got to go down. The dogs are up here. We got lights on. All the neon. This thing was like an oven. All right. We're cranking it down so I can stop sweating. You don't want to see me beating up. All right. Down now. Apologies. How unprofessional. All right. First request of the day by a longtime subscriber, Athena. Get to Solana. Let's do it. Welcome in, everybody. It's right here somewhere, like overlooking it. All right, Solana. Still 132. Looking at the daily chart. I mean, hell of a good spot right here. Here's the 200-day. 200-day EMA. Usually a pretty good spot to pick some up, especially when you've already been at this range before. Especially when it was previously resistance. Flip to, you guessed it, support. Flip to, you guessed it, hopefully support again. Rising 200, still a good sign. If you love Solana at 200, you should sure as hell love it at 130. Back to Solana. Went back too far. Okay, there you go on the daily chart, right? Still looks good. Now, obviously, we don't want to really close under that, so it's got your levels. But remember what we just talked about for Bitcoin. You're buying support. You buy support levels. This is definitely non-arguable. A 200-day EMA topside test is support, especially when it has backed up just a little bit more. Right? If we go down a little bit more, maybe we wick down. Maybe Bitcoin wants to scare the shit out of everybody and go to 60K in an hour candle, right? We all know that can happen. Then we might see Solana like push down a little bit more, maybe go down to like 110, 120. But maybe you buy a little bit here and you have an open order somewhere in like 121 or 115, 37, right? Make your orders obscure too. Don't do like a 120,000 buy order if you're doing that on your favorite exchange. You want to be like this, like 117.77. Okay, now why is that? Because if you have whales, sometimes they will do those big numbers and you can get front run. Or a lot of people have these stacks. Like you can go look at order books, right? You want to be in front of the tall orders usually if you're serious about getting and not trying to, I don't know, maybe one of you all are whales and you have, you know, a $1 billion order out there. Maybe Michael Saylor is paying attention here. He blind buys, he doesn't care. That's fine. We should all be like Saylor. Just buy and shut up. All right? Stop looking at the charts. He doesn't look at the charts every day. He buys more than he looks. Most people are just window shoppers. Right? Saylor doesn't even want to know what it looks like. Just buy it. All right, so Solana's still looking good on the daily. Let's get to the weekly. Stop talking about Saylor. The 786, 123, another good level there. That's also kind of right in line with the EMA 34 weekly. It's right at 123. So just not financial advice, but my opinion is like have an open order at like 124.52 or something like that, right? Right in that area. Maybe a little bit higher, 126, right? Because a lot of people will go to like 125, right? The rounded numbers. You want to kind of front run those, in my opinion, based on my experience of, you know, seeing things go my way and not go my way, right? Okay, so we've been here before. We've been under the 21 week, right? Back in April. We're here again. We'd like, ideally, again, for Solana to maintain its ultra bullish momentum, which it still has. 141. We'd like to close there on Sunday. All right. Other than that, I mean, it looks pretty great. Solana is still one of the strongest charts, certainly for per market cap. You could rank it per market cap. It's up there. Right, it's probably top 5 per market cap, right? Like the pound for pound fighters, right? Pound for pound, and generally the higher market cap, they don't do as well. But Solana's one of the big boys. All right, whatever that means. All right, Chainlink. Good request. Find my straw. Still looking. All right, Chainlink. If I'm ever like paused or you're like, what the hell is he doing? I'm just reading the chat. I have 2 giant screens here, so I'm literally turned my head. All right. I'm not just like looking away. All right. So Chainlink, weekly chart, range lows again. No big deal. We've been here, what, 10, 12 weeks out of the past 6 months, 7 months. Still here. Major moving average, the 100-week EMA. Right there at 1284. Call it 1284. As of now. So we just got to hold that. If we close under we'll address this next week because we're not going to close under and do anything swift. So next week when we do a live stream, it's probably going to be Tuesday. I'm out of town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday-ish. Traveling back Monday. So I might not be able to make the stream on Monday. But Tuesday, worst case, we'll look at this. If it closes under the 100-week, it's not going to be good. For the odds. The odds are not good. Why would that be? It would kind of confirm, and by definition, it would confirm, a break of the neckline on this head and shoulders. Right? And this is not a head and shoulders yet. Don't get it twisted. Patterns are not patterns until they confirm. And this would only confirm if we close under this closing candle right here. That's our low close, 1316, which is this box, which is the neckline. This is what that is. The target for this, you want to figure these out on these head and shoulders patterns, just roughly, right? Go from the high close to the low close, right? Then you can copy and paste this, stack it on top of each other. That gets you your rough projected target. Now it depends on, I would probably take it from that close right there. So it would get us to, shockingly, like right at our previous breakout level. These are all big ifs. And yeah, the rest of the market would really have to kick the bucket for that to happen. So I still don't anticipate that happening. I think maybe we get some kind of a fake out altcoin wide or a little bit of a final capitulation shakeout. Maybe Chainlink kind of goes down towards the 200 week, 100 week. Maybe we get a little wick below like we did back in April. Something like that. $11, $12 area. Because, why do I say that? Well, altcoin's already down. I mean, Chainlink is already down 40% from the highs. Yeah. So going down from here, let's take it from the measured move here, down to this area will be another like 40%. That would be a massive move down, and it's just not likely in a bull market that that's happening with a multi-billion-dollar market cap. Okay, some coins are down more than that, but for Chainlink's market cap, highly improbable. But we'll cross that line when we get to it. So I hope that helps. Now, Chainlink was a green chart, still is, but we're looking for, why isn't it orange yet for range lows? I'm glad you asked, because we haven't closed 2 consecutive candles under the 21 week. So if Chainlink wants to remain a green strong chart, it must close back this week above 1582, the yellow line. If it doesn't, that would be 2 consecutive closes below the 21 week EMA, and by definition, you start to get a little bit more sketchy. So this would go to an orange chart. If it closes under 1284, right here, this blue line, it goes immediately from green to red. Like, you do not want to confirm a head and shoulders pattern after 6 months. That would be no bueno. So, straight up truth. Tell no lies, pull no punches, whatever that means. Everyone knows what that means. All right. So that's my Chainlink synopsis, as bleak as that is. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but all we have to do to turn bullish again is get back above 16. Right? We said this in our Telegram group. Like, the flannel shirts come back on right there. It's not much. Right? We were just there last week. Nope, no need to panic. It's 20% though. Now, when altcoins do bounce, if Bitcoin dominance ever shuts the hell up and goes down, we can actually get a great bounces out of a lot of altcoins. That could happen tomorrow. It might not happen until next week or next month. But when we do get a chill in Bitcoin dominance, and I think it's coming sooner than later, even though that weekly chart looks hella good, if we zoom into the daily or even the 4 hour, right? Look, check this out. So we looked at this earlier. Look at this 4 hour. What the hell is that? That is a chain of green. So maybe we get a little bit of a reprieve, which we just kind of had there, but we need like a more substantial move down, or at least back in something in this area out of Bitcoin dominance between now and the end of the week, and give altcoins some breathing room. So if you're wondering why alts are getting hit so hard, I mean, that's why. Right? Bitcoin dominance is just soaring, and near local highs, pressing all-time highs for this cycle anyway, for the whole entire full cycle, perfectly drawn circle. We've just been going up. The alt season, we're waiting for Bitcoin dominance to cross back under this 200 week EMA, just above 50%. Once that happens, alts will go ballistic. No need to panic. But first things first, we got to get a top out of this damn thing. If we want altcoins to go back to normal, Bitcoin dominance has got to reject somewhere. And the odds are like somewhere between 58 to 60% based on the previous 2020 lows. It's been a hell of a long time. August of 2020. Could be 4 years later before we end up topping. Several cycles later. Bear market, bull market, bear market, bull market. All right. That's my 2 cents on that. But this still looks bullish to me, right? even on the macro. All right. I think I kind of did 2 birds with 1 stone on that. Bitcoin dominance still rising. Yes. ETH dominance. I don't have that set up. I can maybe do that for the next live stream. Good request. Litecoin. Now let's be nice. We're not. Oh, I got a surprise for you for the 4 of you that are here. And kudos for those tuning in. Like, this is boring times. Most people are out twiddling their thumbs on the end of the driveway, contemplating trying to find a high bridge to drive off of. But not you. You're here from trying to learn something. Okay, so just from me to you, good job. You're trying to do yourself better. You'll probably do better than majority of people. And my job is to help you do better than most people. From now till the end of this cycle, right? We'll try to keep doing these on the rigs. And I'm just trying to help someone prevent all the catastrophe bullshit that I've been through. And that's that. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with that, but someone got it. All right. Back to Litecoin. Okay, so this is what I was going to tell you. We now have a pink list. So Litecoin is on the red list. That's bad. Right, we have these lists. What the hell are they? Red list is not good. Blue list is the best. The top 8, right? I can't even find 10 that I like that much. The top 8 charts in all of crypto. The green list is just really strong charts. Excellent. That's what you want your at least majority of your portfolio in. Ideally, you want a couple of the blues. Orange list is like kind of hit or miss. Could go green, could go red. It's not great. It could be better, right? It's kind of like your C student. Like, okay, you're getting by. Could do better. And then the pink list is the top 10 worst charts that I have found. And what is the criteria to get on this shit color? This is not that pink's bad, but it's the worst color I could find comparative to the ones I already had. Right? There's not a whole lot on there. I would love to have found brown. If you painted it black, you wouldn't see it, so that wouldn't matter. But pink's what we got. Okay, leave it. Top 10 worst coins. Might as well just hit it real quick, and then we'll go to Litecoin. Please don't have much or any of these coins. All right, let's go to it. Here it is, in no particular order except for XCN. That's the worst one. Now, what does it take to get on this horrific list? Holy hell! Look at Ring down 30% just today. Not likely going to see any blue coins down 30% in a day. Okay, so what does it take to get on here? Let's just go look at the worst one in crypto that I found. We're measuring from the start of the bull run. So the first week of January of 2023. Let's take it. It's right here. Right, there's our close. There's our open, right? Same thing. Current prices, as of right now, it's down 87% in the bull run. There's coins that didn't drop 87% in the bear market. Okay, so this is the worst chart I've seen. I haven't found any coins that are down more than 87% in the start of this run. Now, to make this list, you must be down at least double digits. All of these coins are down more than 20+% from the start of the bull run in January 2023. That is batshit crazy in my eyes. If you're holding these, you could literally close your eyes, have your dog step on a tablet full of coins, and just pick. And your dog would be doing better than you, right? So if your coin's on here, I'm sorry. No hard feelings, but you got to get the hell out. These are the worst in crypto that I have found of the hundreds of charts that I've looked at. You don't want to be on here. And if you are, please make it a few pennies, right? Hold a very small bag of this. These are terrible. Down over 20% since the start of the bull market. I can't fathom why you'd want to be in those. All right. And if you've been in this long, you still have time to correct it. Pick anything, literally anything, on the blue or green list. I would say if you're on the worst, might as well just start with the best. Let's go there. Here's the best. Ton is by far the best. Okay, we've seen the worst. Now, what the hell would the best look like? I'm glad you asked. There you go. At all-time highs and not even touching the EMA 8. Holy hell. The best looking chart in all of crypto after leaving the worst chart in all of crypto. So, how would we look at this? Same thing. This is up. Not that much, but look how much it has to go. And look, it just really started its move. It was really range bound. This definitely wasn't the top in crypto up until really the past few weeks. And these lists are subject to change for sure. We'd like to see more blue, more green, less red, less pink, right? Crypto-wise. All right, so up 220%, consolidating above the EMA 8 from the start of the bull run. I'm well aware there's coins that have outperformed this 220% from the start of the bull run. But are they above all-time highs and maintaining well above the EMA 8? No. Do they have this much history? No. So a lot of things go into it. But these are your top 8 per the chart. All right. Again, we'll back off the rant. We'll get to Litecoin. All right, let's go back to my list. Litecoin was a request. All right. Having said that, let's go see where Litecoin is. Let's remove that. Let's get on that one. All right, red chart. It's done nothing. Not quite negative, so you're at least better than the pink charts, right? But from January 2023, the first candle, we kind of opened, let's be fair. So we opened right here. I'm taking everything from the first week open in January. We are dead ass even. Or, I mean, like, really, you've done nothing. You've gone literally sideways the entire bull run, which it sounds terrible, and it is, but not as bad as being down 20 to 80%. Okay, you can see the chart. I mean, the moving averages are all moving sideways. Wherever your moving averages are headed, as an average, average your moving averages, that's generally the trend. The trend here is no trend, which is sideways, which is not good. Why would you want to be in something that's not moving? You want to buy a car that has no engine, right? That's what you're in here. A lot of these red coins are nice looking cars with, a lot of these coins are nice looking cars with no engines. You're going to yabba dabba do this, right? Use your feet. I mean, why would you want to do that? Keep it parked. Get in something that pays you, right? At least an orange. Get in the orange. The oranges are well outperforming the reds. All right. And we have, how many reds do we have? We have 43 reds. That's not good either. We don't want to decrease that. We really want to get the majority into the green, and they're just not there. I've updated this over the past 24 hours, and we did have a lot of greens leave. No surprise, it was all the red here, right? So these are up to date now. All right, now let's get back to the chat because I feel like I'm way behind now. All right, George, good question. All right, so we need to weigh coins while Bitcoin dominance still going strong, right? So I get it, right? And this is why Bitcoin is still usually the safer play until dominance tops. But that could cost you, depending on your timing, right? Because Bitcoin dominance usually goes up the start of the bull run. Let's just go look at it, right? Goes up. And if you weren't to buy anything, like you'd be well behind, right? Many coins have outperformed Bitcoin, but not all, right? No, very little in the red or the pink list. But going ultra into or 100% into altcoins right now without holding any Bitcoin is probably not the best play. Starting to dollar cost average out of Bitcoin when it looks like it's about to top or potential, that's a good play, but obviously nobody knows when that is, right? It's almost like trying to sell the Pico top in the cycle. It's almost impossible to do, or the bottom. Same with Bitcoin dominance. Like, when the hell is this going to top? It could top any day. This could be the final week candle. The top might have already been in. We've been at 57%, but same thing plays. like risk reward ratio. You want to start selling at resistance. So if Bitcoin dominance is at range highs here, so ideally you'd be starting to dollar cost average some Bitcoin into altcoins. Now I'm well aware the majority of you watching this right now already have majority altcoins, right? I just know that's generally how it goes. I don't know many people that are still like 95 or 100% Bitcoin. And you probably shouldn't be. But you should still have some Bitcoin. If you had some, you should still have some. And then look for dominance to start topping, which again, it could have already topped. We haven't taken out this candle from early April. Still 2 months. The high is still in there, but it sure as hell looks like it wants to go higher, yeah? And if it does, we're looking for some kind of sign, like this guy right here. That was a gravestone doji, close to it. Ideally, we wanted that red, but this was still the best time for altcoins right here, from like October, right, when we topped here, to January, right? Look at that, wasn't even like a downtrend, and altcoins went berserk. But look at that top right there. But this is when altcoins are doing very well. So we're looking for something like that, and then you want to go probably pretty heavy into alts if you're not already there, right? This is, I know, like, kind of the choir I'm preaching to here. Like, I know you're tired of seeing your alts bleed against Bitcoin, but every cycle you can sharpen your skills a little bit more. And unfortunately, that just takes 4 or 5 years per cycle to really be able to nail it down. And probably a couple cycles to get a little bit better, or a lot of it better from certainly your first self. So next cycle, Bitcoin dominance is probably not going to change as much as it has, as we've all been used to. Like, this is not coming anymore. There's no Bitcoin dominance is going to drop like this. If someone's feeding you this bullshit that's coming, get the hell away from them. That's not happening. There's no ETF world where Bitcoin is just going to leave all the ETFs and go into shitcoins, right? At best case scenario, in my opinion, we're looking at something like this. Sideways, like that guy right there, right? We're looking at to mirror image something like that, or at least copy paste, right? Something like this. We'll still do great. There'll still be many, many coins do a 10x in that circle if we did something like that, right? I know that might be hard to believe, but this will happen. Now, the 100 plus X's that we saw here are probably not coming anymore. There might be 1 or 2 that still do something batshit crazy. But to think that you have both of those or all 3 of those coins is probably not likely. If you heard of it at this point, it's probably not going to 100x from this point, okay? It's either coming, it's brand new, or it has almost no market cap and it's going to catch fire, right? Something you've heard of or that's certainly on Coinbase, in my opinion, has 0 chance to 100x from this point. Certainly with an alt season like this. So to kind of answer your question, yeah, generally you're kind of waiting for Bitcoin dominance to top to really ideally go all in altcoins. But that's also kind of a double-edged sword, because it's like, if that was really the case, you'd wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And there's many coins up 10, 20, 20x against Bitcoin during this cycle. So in my opinion, I think now's the time over the past several weeks to really start converting over to altcoins, even though the prices don't show that. But guess what? Like, look at the discounts that you're seeing on some of these alts right now. So starting to do it, given the fact that I think the bottom is relatively nearby for a lot of these alts. And we're at support for a lot of these major alts. I think now is a generally good time to start thinking about a Bitcoin dominance top and start thinking about altcoin bottom, relatively near. And we could still go down for a couple more weeks. I think that's probably the odds. But you never know. Like, what happens if next week we have a 20% rally altcoin wide? You're going to see it saying coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? This is why my general strategy that I try to help with people with in our Telegram groups is dollar cost average on red days, even though it doesn't feel like you should. 5% you do some, 10% you do more, 15% you do a hell of a lot more. And then do nothing on days that it's not doing that, right? If you're down 5%, you buy. If it's down 4%, you do nothing. If it's down 20%, you a lot more. The whole weekly DCA goes in that point, right? All right, so that's kind of my rant on that. Bitcoin dominance. This is the result of that. Still climbing. If you're wondering, like, why my coins keep getting obliterated, it's Bitcoin dominance is on a epic rally this week for sure. I got sneeze. Hang on. All right, that was loud. I'm glad you. Hopefully, I muted. All right, let me look at Synapse real quick. Let's look at. We have the fib extension, but let's look at the fib. Let's look at the fib retrace. If y'all heard that ringtone, terrible. Okay, so the fib retrace. Look at the. We're at the 618. We're at the swing low support here, swing high resistance here. So somewhere in this area, I think will pay off, quite well going forward. Synapse, not quite red, but if it goes under this, it would probably fall into a red chart. I haven't sold any of my Synapse yet. I would like to buy more here. So that's just where we're at, the 618. If you can buy a 618 at the 618 on a retrace in a bull market, that's usually going to work out well for you. So that's that. All right, back to requests here. To keep calling me. What was the AN? Alrighty. This is a new one, I believe. All right, relatively, well, probably too new to really chart. So any kind of new coin, I'm like, no matter how well it looks, if it's like kind of came in here at 2024, at least on this exchange it did, right? It's like immediately orange. We don't have enough data to really kind of judge it that much. On the weekly, obviously, it's a little bit of danger here, right? Taking out these swing lows. You never really want to see that. But maybe it bounces back up towards the end of the week. We'll look at like the 3-day here. There's still that weekly low. There's a 50 EMA at 15 cents. Taking out our swing low here on the daily. Like, I'd say if we close, if we close it here or lower, if we close under 15 cents by much, this starts to turn a little bit more bearish here, because our next really, you don't really have much here to go off of on support levels. So any kind of short history, it's not really worth even doing TA on. You got to have something to chart, right? But we'll good request. We haven't had that request yet, so we'll kind of add it to the orange and kind of just look at it week over week. If you want to request that again maybe next week or something, take a look. All right, render. Render at $7. I didn't think we'd see that again. That's pretty good pricing. If you think render's gonna go higher. So 200-day, we're at risk of taking that out, which would likely mean more consolidation, right? If you break the 200 and close under it, really, I still like to see 2 days. So if we close under there today, which it seems relatively likely, we'll see how tomorrow goes. Could we bounce up? Maybe. Let's see how the Bollinger Bands are looking like. So we're at the low. Top one doesn't look super special. We'll see if we can get a bounce in here, maybe like a spring, like this action right here. If we don't get a bounce up tomorrow by render or altcoins wide, I would guess if render bounces, altcoins are bouncing, then I become a little bit more, I don't want to say concerned, but I guess I would become a little bit more bored with it, right? I would stop kind of looking at it as much, because we're at our range low test here. It's got to hold here or bounce here in the next day or two, 24, 48 hours, or the odds just go like consolidation like this guy right here. And this goes with any coins, right? We could be looking at a couple weeks of just kind of chop fest down here, which you don't want to see, right? Especially at the 200. Ideally, we got to get back above the 200 like soon for render. Just to maintain like its green chart. I'm not selling anything. You shouldn't be selling anything on a downtrend. You should be taking profits on the way up, or just dollar cost averaging on the way in and dollar cost averaging on the way out as you're going up. But in a bull run, like you're doesn't really make sense to sell much, right? If you're a macro spot, right? As long as you're spot holding and not over leveraged, right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But get us back to really like where we can get back to bull mode again is like 930, 950. Break this level, $10. Like it's back on. Weekly chart. Let's go check this out. Again, like the weekly chart on a lot of coins could get breached at the 21 week this week, but we're okay as long as we don't do it 2 weeks in a row. So really we have, 12, 13 days for a lot of these coins to recapture their 21 week before you can get too worried or at least too bored with consolidation, which could take, the rest of the summer, especially if you close 2 weekly candles under the 21 week. But for now, let's just hope like this is we're rounding out our low here. And then next week we have a spring back to the upside, altcoin wide. That's kind of what I see for now. All right, injective request. Right above it, $20. So weekly spot here. You have our range low test here, which is, I guess, this zone. If it goes out, that's our previous 2021 high. Is now our 2024 lows. Reaching that as of now, but we haven't closed this candle, so we'll see where we end up closing. Same thing I said with, render, is if you start to take out your lows, you want to wait for a second consecutive candle, confirm it. Just below us here, we have just under $18. We have the 100-week EMA. That's pretty big. And also this consolidation right here. And also the previous closing highs up back in here from last cycle. Okay, so this is a big level. The dollar cost averaging, if you want some more objective from like 20 to 17, 18, this seems like a pretty good spot, especially when you're down. Like you're currently down 62% for a, what up here was like $2 billion market cap, right? Still, knocking on the door of $1 billion. And just in like 3 days, I think we're down 40%. That's a good discount. It was just at $33. And I mean, just like last weekend, maybe even, right? So that can happen again. I mean, we were back here a couple weeks before that, right? 2 months ago. I mean, we made almost a 90% rally inside of 2 months. Really, the majority of that came inside of 1 month. Right? There's a 58% rally. So I think this is a great area to be buying. Injective, you haven't been able to buy this cheap since October of 2023, which a lot of coins are coming back down to those pre-liftoff levels. And this one with such a high, billion-dollar potential, 10, 20, $30 billion market cap by the time this cycle's done, seems like a pretty good discount. I'd be absolutely shocked if Injective isn't over $100 by the time this cycle is done. And I would guess maybe knocking on the door of 200, because it was the number one performing coin in all of 2023. There's really like no coins that went up. Well, let's go to 2023, right? This move here, less than 1 year, it did almost a 37x. Not many did that. Certainly not with that high market cap. All right. Do I think Bitcoin dominance is actually going to be at 60? I mean, that's a good chance, right? We've talked about that. Like, if it takes out 57, I mean, high likelihood it goes to 60, right? Either the top is in or we're going to 60 in my book, or somewhere in that zone, right? 58 to 60. But this low wick from all the way back in 2020 hit 57.2. This high wick hit 57.03. So there's an outside chance of that's in, or we're like kind of double. Maybe we can double wick top. If that's a thing. Maybe we wick a little bit higher and that's the end. We're looking for a candle topping, right? I mean, ideally, I would love to see like a gravestone doji on the weekly after visiting 58%. Yeah, that would be excellent. Then it's like, how much available credit do we have that we can go all in on altcoins at that point? But yeah, we're looking for a top on Bitcoin dominance. Next request, TrueFi. I think we have this on here. All right, looks like a green chart. All right, here's the weekly. Yeah, still good. We made a note last time. This would be orange only if it breaks and closes back below 12 cents. That would take out the 21-week EMA as well. Those previous range highs. Still a really strong chart. I would say probably top 20 charts in all of crypto. So if you're big into this, I approve this message. Looks good. Nice looking structure. And I think the really serious fireworks start above a quarter. When you get 25 cents, I think you're going to see some nice moves here. I'm looking at this. I mean, to range high, look at that. I mean, you're just like 4x to get back to all-time highs. I would guess this is going to go much higher than that. Let's look at a fib just for shits and giggles. $10. That's got to be pretty exciting, right? I would imagine if you're in this and you're looking at that. I don't know if I can see that, but right. So we're looking at 10x there. Really, just barely gets us above all-time highs. You're looking at this. Maybe I don't know what the market cap is. Depending on the market cap, like we're looking at knocking on the door of 70x potentially, right? Based on the fib, and it does have some prior history, so this has a little bit more weight to it than some other coins. That's pretty exciting. Based on fibs, right? I'm not just pulling that out of a rabbit out of a hat here. I'm not calling for XRP to be at $400 based on nothing. So that looks good. I would say if this is still under like 500 million or something like that, maybe that's got an outside chance of $10. That'd still be a lot, right? That'd still be like what, $35 billion market cap, which maybe. All right, good request. Crazy 8. Oh shit. I've scrolled too much in the chat. Jumping around. Rose. All right, good request. Let's look at that. That's on our list. Make sure it's still green. Oh, we got to remove the Bollinger Bands. If your charts ever get skewed like that, just take off the Bollinger Bands. Right, that usually does it. And then you put it back on auto if you don't know that, like auto and log scale, right? If you want to do linear scale, that can really skew the charts too. So make sure both of those are checked. And if you're doing, just another side note, if you're doing log scale on your charts, you must look at your Fibonacci's and do the settings on that. You must set those to log scale as well. Otherwise, you'll get the wrong answers. So if you're not getting what I'm getting and you're trying these same things, it's because your settings on your fib scale is not set to log as well. Log and log. That'll be the most accurate way to do it. All right. Having said that, looking at Rose here, a fib retrace at the 0.5 level seems pretty good. And that is at, well, let's drag this out so we can actually see what the hell we're looking at. And you can adjust this too if you didn't know that. Like you can put these numbers in the middle, you can put them on the left side, you can put them on the right side, you can change all that. TradingView is pretty good with options there. I like the five level here because out of that yellow line, but look at the previous range highs. This is be ideal for your coins, right? You want to flip previous resistance to support, especially if it rhymes with a key fib level, right? The 0.5 is pretty good. So if we come down here, right, you have your 100 week right there, but look at where we were just a handful of weeks ago. What, eight, just above 8 cents? 8 to 10 cents, we're still good here. Right, this is still a green chart. Give it the benefit of the doubt. And it looks like the potentials are pretty great as well. So let's do same thing here. Get these accurate. If you hold down control on your keyboard and then move your cursor around, it'll snap right to these wicks so you can get it exactly how you want it. So it's the most accurate, I should say. Now, maybe not how you want it, but okay. So the fib extension here on the 1618 is just under 350. So from current prices, that's still pretty exciting, I think. What, 30, 35, 36x? That's a 36x. Nice. That's potential, right? You don't want to put too much weight in this. Don't start mortgaging your house and saying, Chase said we're going 36x. Although that would be nice, and I'm sure you're probably excited for that. But check your market caps as long as it's not multi-billion dollars yet. I mean, you have outside chances of those kind of numbers. Decent structures, as long as they're green charts. Like you're not gonna 35x shit in the red charts or the pink charts, right? If you're listed in that and someone's trying to sell you 100x on one of those, yeah, no bueno. Okay, but charts like this that are still strong, consolidating, looking better than most, still have a great chance of doing very well. Pros included. All right. All right, let's see what else we got. I need someone. I know the danger of me listing these, color coding these charts is people are going to start making fun of other coins. So, let's go to the next request, which is deleted. That's another bad sign if I've deleted it already, and I don't even want to look at it. And Filecoin just showed up on a deleted list, so yeah, it's probably not good. But let's go take a look. Filecoin did great last cycle. But most coins that did roll, I mean, Matic was like one of the top ones last cycle. This cycle, not so much. My best voice possible. Okay, so it is up, so it's not in the pink list, right? I mean, there's the open. You're at least up 45% this cycle, but it is below all moving averages. Your 100 week is still going down like airplane, no gas. Yeah, it's too early for some of those jokes. It'll always be. But there's your resistance. I mean, many coins are way the hell up here. It would take, really, I mean, you got to get back above here. I mean, most coins need to be above their 2022 highs here, or at least have done it already. We didn't even make a charge towards it. To be on the green list, you'd have to be at 12.25 minimum. We're at $4. We're 65% under the green requirement list. Not a strong chart. Our massive, October rally went up. That's not too bad, right? 200, 300%. Some coins did, most coins that are in the green chart did about 500% or more. So all this in perspective, it's still probably a red chart, right? I mean, you're still down. You're only up 45% from the start of the bull run, so it's still not good for your wallet there, right? Doge, that's a good request. I don't think we've gotten that in a while. I actually think Doge is. I don't know where Doge is. We haven't had that in a while. I think I just said that. It looks like it's on the green list, but okay. Why is? There we go. I don't know why that didn't work the first time. Okay, Doge. Looking good. Range highs, 2022 highs. Right, we've definitely done that. So, I mean, this looks way better than other coins. What was the question? Like, what to buy at? Got here, 5 cents. Well, it's gonna be likely before that. No, here's your level to be buying at, like now. You're at the 100 week and the 50 week currently. 11, yeah, right, 11, 12 cents. This looks like a good support area, right? Support, resistance, not even resistance on the 100, which is right where we're at now. This looks like a good area to be buying. 5 cents, no bueno. Right, this is like a red chart if we go much lower. Green chart for now still, but we're now working on our second consecutive week closing under the yellow, which is the 21-week EMA. If we close under 14 cents this week, this will get downgraded to orange. If we close under 11 cents, I'd probably go straight to red. So it's gotta bounce here. Now it can wick lower, I don't care. But if it closes under that 11.8, right, this 100-week EMA, that'd be bad. It should be bouncing here if the bulls are gonna show up. Right, the big moves, like that is a nice 80% weekly candle. If you want to see more of those in the near future, you're gonna have to hold here, or the bulls are gonna lose control. So that helps. Alrighty, let's keep it rolling. 5 minutes in. Welcome. Try to keep doing these live streams so you can at least get some more info out of it. Render, buy point. I've been blindly buying render, like dollar cost averaging as it's been dropping. So if you're wondering buy levels on these coins, like I said earlier in the stream, like if your coin's down 5%, you buy a little bit. Don't worry about what the chart's looking like. If it's down 10%, you buy more. If it's down 15%, you buy even more. Those generally will pay off very well in a bull run, right? You have to make sure you're in a bull run. And I think we're still only about halfway through this run. So again, that's just my opinion. But I mean, look at the all-time highs here from the previous cycle. That closed at around $7. What's the price now? Around $7. That seems like a pretty good area. We've also tested $7 many weeks over the past couple of months. Seems like a great area. If we go down any lower, that 50-week is at 624. Maybe have an open order in there, but I mean, if you're not buying somewhere in here, you're really rolling the dice on. I mean, I've been buying render since it's been under 10. I've been happy to buy single-digit render for a while. So dollar cost averaging all the way down. That's generally a good play, right? Not dollar cost averaging up or going all in at the all-time highs, which is what most people do. A lot of people, and then they wonder why the hell their coin's not doing well, or have to wait 6 months before they're back in profit. Buying on red days. Learn to love the red if you want to, really flourish in the green. That makes sense. Looks good here. And I'm way behind in the chat, I feel like. Apologies if I'm seeing the questions that I've answered a long time ago, or follow-ups to them. Well, historically, when the Fed pivots, that doesn't do well for equities, at least. But I still think that could be, Q4 maybe, late Q3. I think September's like the odds on. You can look up the odds too, on when those are going to change. You didn't know that. I know everyone's calling for like market tops and S&P 500, but I mean, momentum's a hell of a hard thing to stop. And people have been calling for tops every month for the past 700 years in the stock market, right? If you just say it's going to top at some point, everyone will be right eventually, right? I feel like that's with anything in life, but some of the biggest influencers just consistently call for tops or reversals, and then they can reference that and be a genius in the 18 months after they first called it, right? But to me, where's the sign of a top here? There's zero sign of a top. Look for the structure. That's the only reason you're watching charts and looking at Japanese candlestick theory, which is exactly what this is, if you didn't know that, is you're looking for a signal. There's no signal. There's nothing here. This is the most bullish setup I've ever seen right here. Don't fade momentum. Most trends just continue trend. It's very difficult to call the top. Most people that do, again, like I said, just keep repeating their top calls, and at some point they'll be right. I've been calling the top since November 2023. Look at me, I'm right. When it happens, July of 2026, they'll be right. They've been calling it for years. But to me, there's nothing here. Right? I mean, the Bollinger Bands are even setting up for... It's pressing the high of the Bollinger Bands on the weekly. You know how hard that is to do? It's very difficult to do. Last time I did it was right here. Was that the top? Jesus Christ. Imagine we get one of these. Everyone will be like, oh, the top is in. I told you. Right? Who says that's not coming right now? Why haven't we just started this new move? There's no reason. This is the most logical reason based on the chart. This is more accurate of coming next versus this. This looks fantastic. Okay. All right. Proppy. Okay. Go look at Proppy. Which one is it? Are these all the same? Yeah, like, okay, it looks like they are. Coinbase, go with that. Again, take it off, take your charts off Bollinger Bands if it looks whack. All right, so not too bad. Got a little bit of history. Started the bull run. We're way up. We're good here. New request. I like the new requests. Still up 300% the start of the run. That's great. We just looked at coins that are literally down 80, 90% from the start of the bull run. So look at all these red. I mean, that's a waterfall red. This is likely to bounce at some point soon. Sometime between here and not much lower. I mean, what are we down? Jesus. 67%. Give it to 73% is the 100-week EMA. And also look at these range highs back here from 2022. So that would be like pretty close to worst case there. If you're into this, like loading up now is seemingly a decent bet. You're at support-ish areas here, right? But when you go up that fast, it's hard to find a level to catch, right? Like jumping off an elevator shaft, like maybe you'll get lucky and catch a cable, but there's not a whole lot to hold on to there, right? You just zoom up and you can zoom down. But I like this level too. And this would make sense. I wouldn't be shocked if we bounced in here. Look at these previous swing lows back here as well. April 2022, August, summer of 2022, flipped to range highs. You had some sell-off right there at the same spot back in March. And now we're right here, back here again. And at the 50-week EMA. So 125 to 110, in my opinion, seems to be good. Let's see what a fib retrace says about that. Now, if this is in agreement with what we just looked at, then this is going to be a big level. So you're right at the 382 right now. So yes, 128 seems like a pretty good level. The 0.5 is way the hell down here, our previous range highs. I like this. Got our 100-week and the 50-week. I like it. So this area, if you're looking to get more, seems like a good spot based on the chart, based on support resistance, and based on the fib retrace. All right, good request. I'm actually going to put this in the green chart. We probably flip it back to orange if we close without a bounce. But green for now, so that's a good request. Thank you for that. Plastic Apple. Good name. XR Paynet. Right. Everyone calls for a market top. Broke clock is right twice a day. It's about as accurate of a statement as you can make about people calling tops. I like it. Which exchange do we use? Let's take a look. Not looking great here. Right off the bat, right? This might find its way to the pink list pretty quick. Just eyeballing this. So let's start off with the opening candle. The open of January 2023 is what we look at. And you're down only 95%. So this takes a new crown. Great. We now have a new leader dethroning on the pink list. Down 95% this entire bull run. You've been losing money week over week since 2023. There's no need to even look at anything else. It's just immediate pink. And the good sign is we could probably remove something off of the pink list to keep it in the top 10. But we'll just have 11 for today. All right, that's absolutely terrible. Downtrend. I mean, it's literally opposite of a good chart. There's a decent chart. That's still even just decent. It's beat all-time highs, but instead all-time lows. Wow. Dynex. That's another new one, I think. I like the new requests. I like to build our list as big as possible. Track everything. Wow, this is pretty funky. All right. A lot of chop over the past year. I don't even know what to make of this. Like, nobody can decide what to do here. I mean, it's way the hell up. It's holding above the 20 on week, so I guess you'd have to put this in a good chart. The only argument would be like you're still putting in lower highs here. Yeah, ideally we want to take that out. We want to stop that trend. Yeah, we're putting in lower lows as well. Or low here. And we got to get out of this channel. Concern really started here. This is the first time I've ever seen this chart, so you can see like kind of my thought process here. Right, you look for a ranged low support. That flipped to resistance there. This might just be a dead bounce here. Lower high. Watch for the close this week. If we close under 65 cents, based on the chart, high probability of retesting at least these range lows. So 45 cents if we close back under here. Take out that low wick from last week at 65 cents. That's it. So watch that if you're into this one. That would be my alert on this coin. This got to hold right in here. And then just, you could trend sideways and at least take out that high of 85 cents. Then we can really start to gain some more momentum. But other than that, we go orange or green. Guess we'll go orange just because of these lower high tops and we don't have that much history. All right. Add it to the orange list. Good request though. Floki. Flocky. We'll call it Floki. Not sure I've ever heard it spoken. Still a green chart though. You don't have to know anything about it to know that it's a good chart. All right, here we are. The pumpamental effect is real. 300% followed by 86% in 2 weeks. Nice little move. Nice monster move. But we're in danger of losing some of that momentum if we close under the 21 week. So the 17,000 level right there. Mark your calendars. Set your alerts. We need to be closing above that. Well, that would be orange, right? And really, it'd stay green until you have 2 consecutive weekly closes under that. I could still maintain that being green. Your swing lows from just a couple months ago went considerably lower than that. So I wouldn't be panicking too much here. That's still another 30% down. But we still haven't closed under the 21 week, really, since liftoff back here in early this year. So this is where you could argue that your momentum would be fading. Also, if we close, this is where I would really get concerned. If we take out this low close, why would this be? This is much more bearish here because this is the 9,000 level. So if we take that out, this would confirm as a double top. Right? The double tops confirm after the low is taken out, not at the top. So the projection on that would take prices roughly down 7,800 level, which is probably lower. That's another 50% down. And again, even the most textbook patterns don't always play out, so it's not for sure. But if we close under there, I think I would probably chalk that up to assuming you bought down in here somewhere, probably take my profit and run. It could very well bounce here. And if it does, like, we're just looking to take out the highs again, or at least range test highs and consolidate up here. No big deal. This can flip, obviously, very bullish very quickly. But I would just watch this. If it closes under that 9,000 mark, that'd be a concern. All right. Good request. Oh, good request. Altcoin chart. Let's go look at that. I know you didn't directly request that, but you brought that up, so thank you. APF. All right, total 3. So this is altcoins. Market cap by altcoins. All right, assume this is what you're looking at. You said 213 billion though. That's way the hell down here. Maybe you're not looking at this chart, but here's total 3. So this excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're definitely at a spot where altcoins could bounce here. Look at the range lows from back in 2022. Bear market low right there, that initial sell-off. Then also where we hit back in April. Again, lower again. If it doesn't bounce here and we do end up closing lower, we have the 50-week at 542. 100-week at 491. Let's see what these targets are. So we have another 7% or 15%. 200-week is way down here. Unlikely we're getting down that low. I could easily see us bouncing here. Given the context of just we're still at swing lows. We've been here before. It would be a little bit more concerning because we've closed another 21 week and we haven't done that since October. So last time we did like have a rally and we closed back under it, like we fell an additional 20% from the line. So 20%, if we were to repeat something like that, that would take us to the 100 week, just right around that 500 billion mark. These are different times back then. Not saying that's going to happen. But also, context with your altcoins. If the altcoin market cap is outperforming your coin, you should probably switch up your coins. So this is up at 2x. If your coin's not up at least 2x this whole run, you're underperforming the entire market for altcoins. You must be up over 2x. Oh, be up over 100%, or you need to be switching up your ponies because you're missing out. Right, the entire market has averaged a 2x from the start of the bull run. Should say the top 125. This is the top 125 altcoins, okay? Oh, others dominance? I mean, I have others. If also, you didn't know this one existed. This is the top 10 altcoins dominance, excluding the top 10. I just invent charts to make up, but I know there's another one, but I mean, I don't really track that one. I track the total 3. I like those better. And then I do like altcoin dominance. So we're back to the 236 on that. I mean, it does make sense for altcoins to bounce relatively soon here. So if you're thinking about buying and all these coins are at like big support, it's seemingly like a pretty good spot. And even the market cap of dominance is at support, a 236 retrace. Okay. If this breaks, the odds improve of a retest of these lows. But I mean, here we are. And I would say this happens if Bitcoin dominance goes like to that 60% mark, which maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But there's an easy case to be made where it bounces here or sometime really soon. Altcoin wide. Then this picks back up. Altcoins start to wake up again. Bitcoin dominance chills out or it has topped. You always have to weigh the pros and cons here. Look at the kind of a double top right at the 618 though. Pretty interesting. All right, we've been going for 75 minutes now. I'm going to wrap it up there for today. I'll be back on tomorrow. That'll be my last live stream for the week. Going out of town Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, probably Monday. So join us tomorrow. Get your requests in. And I hope to help you out there. Hope maybe we'll see some more green tomorrow. Thanks for watching this long if you have. Just for tuning in. Appreciate you. The like button. Share it with somebody. Grandmother, dog, cat, parrot. I don't care. Get somebody else in here. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you on the next one.